Hey everyone, welcome back to The Word in 2. I'm Kirby, and this week we're looking at the letter O for obedience. John 14:21 says, "Those who love me will keep my commands." While it's always a great idea to follow God's commands, obedience is more about the condition of your heart. I liken this to our relationship with other people. Say you have person A. Their whole mindset is doing just barely enough to keep this relationship afloat. And so you'll find them kind of bucking the system and going against the rules of the relationship. So that means they're not committed, they're not trustworthy, and the only time they're interested in you is when they are the beneficiary. In turn, this leaves the other person feeling undervalued and unsupported. Person B, on the other hand, is happy to stay within the perimeters of the relationship. So that means they're honest, they're trustworthy, and they compromise and sacrifice whenever it's necessary. Now, this doesn't mean that person B is mindless and they can't think for themselves. They do have their own identity. But when tempted by outside forces, they remember that they value the person and the relationship more than they value being self-focused and self-centered. In turn, the other person feels very loved and valued and supported. Obviously, you will have a healthier relationship with person B than you will with person A, because the relationship is built on love, trust, and it will have longevity. This mirrors our relationship with God. Some of us are dedicated. We could be out doing all kinds of crazy things, but we don't mind being in the perimeters of this relationship because we know how much God loves us and how much He has sacrificed for us. And obedience is one of the very few things that we as humans can actually give back to God. And then there are others who, they do just barely enough to keep their Christian card. And then they end up scratching their heads like, why haven't I seen this promise activated in my life? And, why hasn't God done this? But what they really, really need to realize is that God works best through authentic relationships. As I said, obedience is about the condition of your heart. And so when your heart's not in it, you won't be able to see the full scope of God and what He can do in your life, because God and all that He is wrapped up and seen through our obedience. Guys, have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time for the letter P on The Word in 2.